Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for another episode of the Leadership for the Now show. My name is Florian Mungu, and I'm so delighted to be with you today. And today I'm joined by a wonderful guest, Gang Wei, the CEO of Uni3 by Jelly. Welcome, Gang.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Yeah.
How are you doing today?
It's good. It's a sunny day, like my background, actually. Yeah, very nice.
Really nice. Okay, so you're leading the Uni3 Center, and tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then we're going to go and also learn about the center, because this is a really one of the newest projects in Gothenburg, and in the middle of such an intense and busy area, Lindholmen, where many
Yes.
companies, especially in the automotive and mobility
Mm,
areas,
mm.
sit. And so we want to learn a little bit more about yourself, and then also about Uni3.
Yeah. Yes. I left China year 2000 as a student. Went to UK to study. I graduated from Durham University, and then I worked for the Black Cab. If people been to London, the Black Taxi and Benefits
Hmm.
Brown Holdings that time, I worked for the British company and responsible for looking for partners in China. So actually, I'm the person found Geely as their partner, set up the joint venture with them,
Oh,
and
wow.
then I was assigned to China to build up a factory, running the business with a Chinese colleague from Geely, and then I back to the UK 2009, and also joined the team to acquire Volvo and early stage due diligence process. Then still responsible for the main China operation, helping the two companies working together. And then 2013, I was assigned by Geely to come to Gothenburg and to set up our first R&D center here,
Hmm.
called the CVT, China Euro Vehicle Technology. I
Yeah.
was the deputy CEO. Together with my colleague, we grew up from 2 people to 2,000 people in 2 years, and we delivered the CMA architecture and also the Lincoln Co cars together. And from 2017, I started to on this Uni3 project, and that time was called the Geely Innovation Center, and because we renting lots of different office studio offices in the Lindholm in Gothenburg, and the efficiency, the long-term commitment towards employee, we have lots of internal issues. And this is the
Mhm.
case, we pay 80 million SEK per year as a rent to different landlords. So there's a case to ask for us, one, to have the commitment to the city, to our people, and the second, from business case, that we do need this place for ourselves and also for external partners, of course.
Right. So that's how Unit 3 was born, right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So then tell us a little bit about the role of Unit 3, like in Lindholm ecosystem, and also like for Gillian and the company.
Yeah, it's 100,000 square meters. It's a campus of consists of GD companies and also external tenants, partners, suppliers.
Hmm.
We include we have R&D center here, CVT. Except we have our design studio, we have our sales marketing focus on the Lincoln Co brand, and we have other software company, other non-Volvo and Polestar, basically from the Geely business, located in this building, and the investment company from Geely, for example, with a different business. At the same time, we also have some of the external tenants, different companies located
Hmm.
in the campus. We also have a hotel actually in the
Oh,
campus,
really?
the red building behind me,
Hmm.
and we will open this year. It's run by our partner Nordic Choice Group. Yeah. Mm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
So,
said the main focus is really to bring the GD family to the business together, and also we choose the Lindholm, which is the really the innovation hub, we believe, for Sweden, for Gothenburg. Where the technology innovation started, and we see the
mhm.
great opportunity, to be here and to show the commitment from GD towards our second home, city Gothenburg, to show the commitment to our people, our employee, our partners. So that's the plan. Hopefully, with this establishment of Uni3, we hopefully Gothenburg can attract more companies from global to come to invest here, not only the Chinese companies, and we really hope to work together with Linham, with City Gothenburg to attract more talent from other countries, to attract more international capitals, to invest here.
Right. And so then it's not only for Geely, and it's also for partners and external partners.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
so what are you seeing being the trends into the future of the workplace? Like,
Well, there's no doubt that the COVID really affect our work. I remember when the COVID started 2 years ago, many people around me said, "Gang, I hate working at home. I want to come to office. I miss colleagues." At the beginning, because we don't know that time actually will take such a long time to have suffering this kind of COVID. But nowadays, when you're talking to colleague people around you, they say, I don't want to go back to office. It's okay working
yeah.
at home. So the trend is changed. So I think we say we see, for example, I talked to my missus that day. She was in the office. When she got home, she started to complain. She said, people come to me to talk a lot and I can't focus. I'd rather
Yeah.
stay at home because it is much more productive, much more efficiency. So I think that this the kind of unforeseeable future we see the challenge we'll probably face, and we need to change the mindset to make sure that, the traditional way of working 8 hours, 9 to 5, that will change. And how we can manage that in this case. And the company culture, we probably need a new culture to how you drive the team and drive the efficiency, build the trust, to make sure we don't have the misunderstanding each other, and that the communication has become probably more critical in this case. And now we can see the camera, but it's still not really different to actually when you sit in the meeting room face to
Yeah.
face. People in the business will talk about looking at the people's eyes when you're making a deal. That's the thing. Or talking to the people in the break room, coffee room, get things sorted. But now it's all changed. You probably have a Teams, email, virtual tools. How you get the things done? I see that's probably the lots of challenge and the things. Also, I think the between the industry is different. This kind of remote work, I believe, doesn't fit all the industries. Maybe in some high tech working, maybe in some traditional way of working, maybe they still need to be in office. And of course, then country to country will be different. I saw a survey. They said actually in the developed countries like US, Europe, in the Western Europe, maybe people are okay to working at home. Where in Asia, particularly China, India, maybe people prefer to get things done in the office. There's a different way of doing that. I think this is all the trend and the challenge we are facing actually.
All right. So are people back in offices at Uni3 or still remote?
We are back about 50%, and by end of February, early March, we plan to come back 100%. But even now, I think that we can see that the restaurant is full, lots of people in the building. Yeah, you can see that change. But again, maybe the trend is Monday to Wednesday or Thursday morning. Okay, Friday you have less people, working at home maybe.
Right. So what would be then some of the things that like if us as leaders will be able to adapt to this situation, and actually what would be some of the opportunities that you see now because of the remote work? It's much more acceptable by leaders, right? So before was maybe something that was not as usual. Maybe some industries I know for really really skilled talent in, for example, in web development and coders, like they had this privilege that they could work from wherever they want, but that was not for many people. So now what would be some opportunities that you see leader have if they are open to create the ideal environment for their people?
Well, I think you have to understand what actually employees want. I read a survey from US about this kind of remote working at home. Very interesting, the survey. They said, according to the survey, they said that people actually pay more, better food, better coffee, better decent food when they are in the office meeting colleagues. Because they are, when you're working at home, microwave fail, you're working day and the night and sitting in the computer, you don't want to go to kitchen to cook, there's something easy to grab. When they come to the office, they want to have a decent time to meet people. And so that's why they pay more for better coffee, better food. Yeah, I think that, as I said, we need to understand what really employee want. They probably before COVID, you come here, your desk, sitting there, meeting the right schedules. Now they come here, they probably don't need a desk. They probably need a flexible sitting. They want to have a meeting place, and they want to have a decent food to eat somewhere they can sit, talk about not maybe the work, maybe talk about more business, more family, and then talking about their life, in this case. Um, we see that kind of trend, and too, and also we have to make sure the employer to set up the right policies, making our tools to support this kind of change. I see the opportunity, for example, that in this case, how actually you can engage the people employee more, and to have to seeking more productivity, and also to see that, like you said, it's an opportunity actually you can recruit more talented people from different countries without them to have to
Yeah.
relocate in that place. We have some kind of colleagues now working in this campus. They are family in Germany, and they probably don't need to come here. They can dial in remote control, and they can fly in for a few days, go home for a few days. It's like that. So and that in this case, from purely facility point of view, there's the opportunity for the employer company to actually find a way to reduce the cost. They don't need to probably rent 1,000 square meters or 100 people in the
Yeah.
past. They probably 500 is already enough. And I also see that it's a chance actually for the company to review how you actually do your performance evaluation for the deliveries for the people. In the past, the people working in front of you, you can see what
Yeah.
your team you're doing. So when they're
Mhm.
working at home, how you make sure that they do the right thing at the right time. So this kind of methodology, we need to actually look into them to actually also improve the internal control management process in the company. Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. You are so right, because that was one of the challenges that I see leaders face, is that they don't know how to measure performance
Yes.
when people are working remotely. So definitely we need to rethink that, and be able to adapt. And then, yeah, that's one of the challenges. We also see that when it's difficult for us, we don't have a process in place to measure performance. That's why managers want people to be in the office, so
Yeah.
they kind of watch. but
Yeah.
but I think this is kind of a old way of thinking, because we're paying people for their deliveries, not necessarily the how much time they spend in the office, right? and
Yes.
and, and that's kind of the mindset shift, right, that you also see it is happening. We need to be able to um, reward performance, and if someone only takes half of the time to deliver that, good
Yeah.
for them, right? They
Yeah.
have more time
Yeah.
off.
Exactly. Exactly. I think this is the time I say it's called rebuild the trust, basically. And between the managers, the leader, and your team. You have to find a way to trust your people, how to build the trust, and how to measure the performance. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
It's a challenge, and also it's the opportunity. I see. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I know also you have collaborations with the Lindholmen Science Park, and so what would you see will be now the future for Uni3? Like, first of all, like if people want to know more about what you do there, like just share with us a little bit more. Like you mentioned events, and you also mentioned that you have external tenants, right? The companies that see there. So what kind of services should someone expect from coming at Uni3?
Yeah, and when we designed the Uni3, that's at the 2016-17, incidentally, without COVID that time, we said that we don't need actually another office place, and
Mm,
we want to create a meeting place instead. So that's actually from the beginning, and that's why we in the layout here in the operation side, we want to create lots of nice place to small corner bridge restaurant, coffee, whatever, for the employee, for the partners, they can actually meet each other, talking to each other. And the name of the Uni3, there's a meaning of that.
mm,
The uni represent the universe. That's actually where the GD name come from. It represent the unique, because of the
mhm.
success of World War acquisition, all the journey my Swedish colleague and the international colleague here been through with the CVT setup, the GDP is developed in overseas. I think that's very unique experiences. And it's also, I said, we talk about the unified, and also we have more than 50 actually nationalities located in the campus.
Wow.
And it's like back to the life in the university. We're learning each
Yeah.
other. Experience is different. And we also talk about the three in China. We say one generates two, two generates three, three generates everything. And the most important, we believe the 1 + 1 can be 3, which is if you really respect each other, learn each other, working together, the 1 + 1, the added value we created is very important. So I said the Uni3 is not a traditional Swedish real estate landlord. What we want to do is really to create a kind of a life center, and people come here. You can bring your family, you can bring your dog, you can bring your partner. The academic and the professional, they can meet young students, East meets West, foreigner, Chinese, whatever, Asian. You can learn a lot here. That's our thinking behind, So.
Wow, that's such a
Yeah.
nice story, and I understand now the vision why, and it's the best place in Gothenburg to be, right? You're in the in the middle of the action. That's where most both big companies, established companies, but also startups and innovative companies.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
uh,
We have we have the startup. We have the United Space, our partner here, renting the
mhm.
floor here, and they run the startup. That's why I said we want to create actually a lab center ecosystem. And of course, I want to emphasize, we are not want to be an independent campus. I said we are really in the big area in the Lindham, where the innovation and the technology hub is. So what we want to really create the synergies together with Lindham Science Park, with the partners. Surrounding us, basically. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So then, when we look at now, opportunities that we see for the future, what would be some of the things that you would see leaders will really have to consider and be serious about to win in this in the future of work, and the things that you're seeing, because you're connected to companies that were not connected, and some of our listeners and watchers and viewers, they might not know this. So what will be your views that on what leaders needs to consider, like 3 things that they will need to consider to continue leading in the future of work?
Well, I think, as having said, I believe that we do need to build a new culture, based on this remote work, and how actually you're getting when the people working at home, you live in Sweden too, I said the
Yeah,
example, the Swedish prefer outdoor work, right?
yeah,
Always
yeah,
go out. My
yeah.
kids at school play out, whatever it's raining or snowing, it's go out, and then it's very simple. When you have this teamwork, team meeting on using the remote or whatever, or sitting in the office, why can't we taking them to a fresh air work? Just go walk around, and then you talk. I mean, they need the people to change the leader need to change have a new mindset, and enable them to drive a new business culture, company culture, to fit into this kind of situation with remote work, virtual teams, whatever, all the conditions. And the second, I believe that because of this, we said that this, you don't know what people are doing, you probably don't know what's
Hmm.
delivered. That is become more important. Actually, you need to have a really much more clear, better communication in this case, and really to develop in the team with that kind of provide the right tools, policies, procedures to drive that, and the last one I think is again is really the innovation flexibility we talk about. You have to really jump off the box, try something new, because this is new to everyone, and nobody say this is right or wrong. You need to be able to try that. And yeah, I think that's probably the 3 things I see. Yeah.
So culture, communication, and innovation, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so
Flexibility
much.
also. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good actually. It's, I mean, and it absolutely makes sense. And we also see that change starts with culture, right? So we need to now reconsider the way we do things. When we look at working remotely, when I work with leaders, actually we look at, can we create an environment that it's so flexible so each individual on the team could find their place. So for example, some individuals, as you mentioned, might want to work alone and they don't like to be
Mm.
disturbed, and also that if their work is to work on a document or to work on a piece of code, by themselves, for example, a couple of days, they don't need to be in the office for that, right? And we see this before COVID. There were colleagues of ours that just took a meeting room and sat in a room by themselves because they needed to have a quiet space. So
Yes.
those people, they don't necessarily need to be in the office. They don't see a need. But some others, they are depending on other people. They need to speak to each other, and they like the culture. We have this the fika, right, in
Yes.
Sweden.
Yes.
So the coffee break, and that's a really important ritual, especially for people that like to create personal collection and like to hear a little bit of a story and like to talk about Melody Festival or something like that. And if you don't have that space, they don't have a space to gather. So you still need to have an office and a place where people can gather if they need. So, for example, if you have a sick child or someone at home needs your room, like my office, then I probably want to have an office to come and work that day, right? So
Yeah.
what we're seeing with leaders is that they're creating an environment where each person kind of have an individualized schedule. They could choose how many days they'll be in the office,
Yeah.
and they could choose how many days they could work from home.
Yeah, as small things, it's like when we have the teams meeting, you know that actually outside, particularly in Gothenburg, windy, raining, gray day, if they see my picture at the back, they'll, oh, sunny day, give the people hope, all the small things, and sometimes, I want to change it now, people can see it. And um, this is what I have sometimes. This is
Yeah,
my dog. So that's why you need to also, I said, you need to think about your team's house, or ourselves. I said you're sitting from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever in the afternoon. Lunchtime, you put grab sandwich. You want to work in the computer all the time. There's no break actually at all when you're working at home. Very common. So how you actually keeping your team health, keeping your family health. So you need to, again, as I said, standing out, go out, or talking about the families. Have some dog shows, whatever, something fun to let people feel different. And this is back to the Uni3 also, and we remember last year September to December, there are about 2 months we opened again. We actually hosted lots of different events in the Uni3. We actually host the town hall Christmas party and Lucia singing. We even have a Swedish national table tennis team playing table tennis with our employees. And this is the things you need to create it in the office. I think you have the mindset. The office will be not the traditional office. It's a place for people to meet, to have some lot of activities can actually getting people, when they come back to the office, they feel different. They feel promoted. They feel inspired. They want to be here to do the decent meeting people, talk about lots of maybe not only the work. I said.
Yeah, so that's so true. So the office of tomorrow or the future of the workplace would be more like a place for gathering, right? And
Yes.
for
Yes.
activities rather than a place where you just go sit at a desk and do your work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, absolutely. So I know you also organize events. Do you have anything that you could share with us that is coming up, like any events that you're excited about?
Because we're just still in the open period for the COVID, we are actually the team working very hard to get lots of events in. But if I probably can share with my dream in the Uni3. I always sometimes talk to a lot of people, my colleague. I said I really want to have a wedding ceremony in the Uni3. Yeah,
A
so I
wedding
said
ceremony?
a wedding ceremony because we, considering the bad weather in Gothenburg, you can have the wedding ceremony in our lovely theater inside, and we can offer Asian cuisine or whatever you ordered, to serve the wedding reception. We can offer you Lincoln Co. Polestar Volvo fleet driving your customer around the city. You can stay in our hotel, so there's a package for that kind of activity. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I look forward to hear about the first
I
wedding there.
tell this, I told her already. Whoever coming here, first couple, free use.
If you're married like me for 15 years, does it count if I do like my silver marriage there? My
Yeah, of
silver
course.
wedding?
Welcome. Yeah, you only pay the food. You don't need to pay the wedding. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's so good. So let's maybe I have one more a little bit more personal question, and then we're gonna close because we want to honor your time, and I'm so grateful that you took the time to be with us. So what would be the best leadership advice you ever got, and how did that help you? like in all throughout your career?
Yeah, I think that's really, I would say probably people and the results. Yeah. I got this, when I was when I working for Magnus Bronze Holdings, our chairman is a well-known businessman in the UK. His name is Tim Ross. He retired now. He was the chairman of DTZ. He was the chairman of Magnus Bronze Holdings. He was the chairman of UK Education Higher Education Fund. Yeah, and we had a dinner in Beijing where I remember that, we talk about this leadership, whatever, and I learned from him, and what's the success, and he said people and the results, and I learned that, for example, I learning the culture are different. If you drive a Chinese team versus a Swedish team, it's totally different. I can't deliver this Uni3 campus by myself. We are one of the fastest project in Sweden. We delivered such great campus. It's all done by my team. And I told my team, for example, if in the future you pay a visit to Uni3, outside the restaurant, we have this break wall, you can see it. And I told my team, each of you are going to have a break, and you're going to put the break on the wall by yourself. And on that break, you have a name, your own name. I want the people to feel proud when you bring your grandchildren come here to say, your granddad, grandmom, we did this great campus, the great building. Or I told them, you can be challenged if the building is not that good, bad quality, whatever. They will say, this group of people done this bad place. So I said, this is really, you have to appreciate the personal value, appreciation, see how they develop and see the results, basically. Yeah.
Wow. So everyone has a brick on the wall with their name?
Yes. Yeah, you will see.
Oh, wow.
You're welcome to see it.
Yeah, I cannot wait to come and see that. Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit, like the closing question that we ask all our members or all our guests is like, how would you describe leadership today if you just pick one sentence or one word?
I would say probably engage people working together. It's a teamwork. And I believe the leading is not management. You need quick decision. You need quick actions. Yeah, but you need to really engage people working together.
Right. So people working together, leading quick action.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, gang. It was great having you on the show. I hope you enjoy it too, and I look forward to see the center and pay you a visit and maybe have an episode from your studio there.
Yeah, great. That would be great. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.